Serba Dynamic Holdings Berhad is a dynamic and diversified international group with a focus-oriented approach, offering integrated engineering, contracting and maintenance services, system integrator and packages services. Their mission is to excel globally as a recognized total technical, engineering and commercial services provider, and to become a one-stop center engineering solution provider, offering engineering, procurement, construction and commissioning work, operations and maintenance services, as well as parts supplies.
I would say that there are three important milestones of the entire growth of Serba Dynamic. During the early days, we are just focusing on the field service capability. What it means here is we have the human resource capability from engineer to technicians to the skilled labor, and of course we also need the managerial project management capability. So we mobilize this team to the site and carry out the job. So we call it as the field service activities. And in between the 26 years of journey, I would say that after the 14 to 15 years, we start our workshop capabilities, where the equipments are brought into the workshops, and we have some capabilities to invest in buying some of the workshop machines, and with that we qualified for some of the offshore jobs, which is under Petronas and also Shell, because in Malaysia, since the offshore activities majority are out of land, because in Middle East it's different. Even though the upstream activities of the offshore activities, some of it is actually based on land. So the terminology used need to be defined properly. But whatever it, what I'm trying to say is the second milestones of the growth is where we have the workshop service capability. And the third one, which is required to make the completions of a full-fledged maintenance company, will be your ability to manufacture the component and parts of equipment. So I would say that this is achieved via our successful listing of the company onto the Bursa Stock Exchange of Malaysia, way back about more than 2 years ago. And I would say that this is a breakthrough, because via the acquisitions of our company on other company which has these manufacturing capabilities, have helped us to complete the journey of positioning Serba Dynamic as a one-stop service provider. So we will have the field service team, we have the workshop repair capabilities, and we have the ability to re-engineer parts and components of equipment.
Serba Dynamics facilities now exist across continents like the United Kingdom, Indonesia and the Middle East, as well as in Malaysia, in Paka, Kemaman, Bintulu, Miri, Labuan, Kota Kinabalu, Meru and Subang, apart from its headquarters in Menara Serba Dynamic, Shah Alam. The workshop in Meru is a manufacturing and fabrication facility based on advanced reverse engineering technology and is among the main services.
Basically, in Meru, we have manufacturing jobs such as CNC machine and also assembling parts. For example, currently we are assembling root lower based on our client's requirement. So when we receive the job, we will determine whether we can do the job, perform the job. We will check all the requirement, all the clearance. We will make simulation. After we make simulation, we will come up with the drawing, and then after we come up with the drawing, we will proceed with manufacturing job. After we done manufacturing from CNC and also metal casting, die casting like that, we will then proceed to install. Once we install, we will conduct a FAT, which is field factory assurance test, to determine whether the equipment is safe and up to spec.
Located in Meru, Klang, this workshop is led by mechanical and electrical engineers to ensure repair work and re-engineering is done at optimum level. As with proper adherence to engineering best practices, customers and visitors at the workshop must undergo a safety briefing to understand the layout of the workshop, important and risky spaces within, as well as rules to be followed. This briefing is also carried out on a reoccurring schedule to remind staff about safety rules. Serba Dynamic has expanded the scope of engineering skills to enable reverse and re-engineering work to be done on rotating equipment spare parts, as well as repair and servicing on rotating equipment. Through this approach, customers are able to continue to use equipment without interruption, either through repaired or replaced items, ensuring quality levels are just as good as new equipment. The process flow for re-engineering work at the Meru workshop begin just as equipment is received from customers. With highly skilled labour, experience and machinery capacity, Serba Dynamic offers re-engineering and retrofitting services for parts and pumps spare parts such as impellers, casings and shafts, complete assemblies such as rotors and cartridges or complete pumps. After receiving the equipment from the customer, the work process enters the disassembly stage, where it is dismantled and separated to component parts to ensure exact repair work can be undertaken. Once that is completed, the involved component parts are cleaned before they move into the inspection stage. Serba Dynamic is the top choice for total engineering solution and has received obsolete equipment such as pumps and other old equipment that is no longer supported by the original equipment manufacturer. Serba Dynamic also prepares detailed sectional and full component drawings.
The whole process of reverse engineering, retrofitting and function of each step is comprising of material analysis, 3D capturing and measuring, CAD, that is CAD modeling, engineering analysis, and the whole process of the manufacturing and function of each step is a CNC machine automated machining process with increased speed and quality of manufacturing, able to machine complex features. For manufacturing metal products, engineering plastic product, wood products, gear, etc., carry out milling, turning, boring, polishing and grinding and hobbing, etc.
Material analysis is an attempt to determine the basic properties of materials that can be useful for designing structures, interfaces, and a variety of other things. 3D scanning is a process of analyzing the equipment to collect data on its shape and appearance using a special sensor that captures all the contour information about the object or its surface. The collected data can then be used to construct digital 3D models. The following stage uses a comprehensive analysis system through the application of ANSYS technology. It produces a computer model simulation of the structure or component and also displays the attributes of materials based on requirements such as flow rate, stress strain, maximum heating temperature, and so on and so forth. In Meru, Klang, Serba Dynamics workshop is furnished with special equipment specifically for total engineering and maintenance work on rotating equipment, such as total engineering and maintenance for rotating equipment. From ANSYS, the next stage is the manufacturing process, which uses computer numerical control or CNC. And at Serba Dynamic, it is the 5-axis CNC machining, which means its part or cutting tool moves along 5 different axes simultaneously, and this enables the machining of very complex parts. 5-axis CNC machining is well known for providing greater precision and efficiency with less production interruption. If needed, the balancing process and data balancing is carried out at the Meru workshop, especially for rotating parts and machinery which requires efficient balancing power. Testing process is done as the last testing stage before the equipment undergo the assembly stage again, and thereon after factory acceptance tests are performed. Whereas for equipment that require blasting process and wet or metal coating or metal spray, Serba Dynamic has another workshop which exclusively caters to these kind of work, located in Subang. If and when needed, equipment is taken to Subang from Meru.
For treatment, stress relief to improve dimensional stability and toughness of a material, improve mechanical properties such as hardness and strength. Casting is a complex shape parts, mass production, whereby coating, wet coating, thermal spray consists of increased durability, increased hardness, and to decrease friction, corrosion protection, increase wear resistance, additional protection to damaged material.
Common problems faced by companies in engineering practices is that there is no efficient solution when components or certain equipment parts, such as pumps, experience damage or become obsolete. Original equipment manufacturers usually either sell replacement parts at an expensive rate or produce absolutely no repair options. This results in companies having to replace entire parts of equipment, even though a large portion functions well.
Legal aspect, we look into it. Those equipments which has still patent that is valid, we will not enter or encroach into it until we are clear that there is no legality that will put us in a difficult position to be sued by other parties. We will go for it. And to summarize it, what I'm trying to say here is the legal aspect we take care of so that we will not fall into the floor of being sued. Secondly, when we do these reverse engineering activities, we need to have in-depth knowledge from the process and also from other thermodynamics aspect and few other considerations to be put in so that the component that is designed will suit and meet the requirements of the original aspect of it.
The total engineering and maintenance for rotating equipment has become the trademark of Serba Dynamic through human resource, tools, proven techniques, products and software developed through years of in-house R&D and work experience to provide improved reliability, efficiency and availability to their clients. Amongst the main expertise of Serba Dynamic is the scope of reverse and re-engineering, which has become the best maintenance trend within the realm of engineering practices because it is economical and effective in terms of time, cost and energy. I'm Jessie Chahel and I take you on yet another journey next week as we define the dynamism of Serba Dynamic right here on In the Forefront.